Now at 6, commuter crisis. Thanks for joining us at 6. I'm John DeLuca. The headline from today, state officials have moved up the timeline to open 2 temporary westbound lanes on 195 East. It's now expected to be done by the weekend. ABC 6 News anchor Alyssa Zara joins us now live in Providence with the details. Alyssa.
Good evening, John. The governor reiterating today that the Washington Bridge is the utmost priority in the state right now. Officials will also hold daily press conferences with updates until further notice.
This is the top priority in the state of Rhode Island right now, number one. And unless there's a life or death circumstance in some other area, it's all hands on deck. And the people in the state of Rhode Island should realize this is the number one priority for me as governor and our administration.
Officials say they are continuing to cut down traffic times for drivers, citing a significant improvement from Tuesday.
In fact, the travel times in most cases have been cut down to either half or less than half of the time that it took folks to take those same detours yesterday. Our goal is to get them back to where they were before all of this happened.
Drivers will be happy to hear that temporary lanes on the westbound side of the Washington Bridge, which were originally expected to be open in 2 weeks, will likely be open this weekend, according to LVD. That process will take 2 lanes from 195 East, meaning there will be 2 eastbound lanes and 2 westbound lanes once it's done.
We have a high confidence level of completing it by this weekend. That should bring the travel times down, not to what they were prior to this emergency, but closer to it.
The response to shutting down the westbound lanes on the Washington Bridge is still a work in progress, though. Officials also working to implement a 500-passenger ferry from Bristol to Providence.
We're anticipating being able to deploy that in a very short period of time. I'm talking like maybe a week or at most 2 weeks.
In addition to the ferry, Alvidi says RIDOT is working with RIPTA to provide shuttle service between Providence Port, Kennedy Plaza, and the train station, as well as parking facilities in Bristol. But many commuters are still unhappy with the inconvenience. And when Governor Dan McKee was asked about if there would be any upcoming changes at RIDOT,
Yeah, so I'm not going to answer those questions. We're here to talk about an emergency. That's out of line. Okay, so we're here, no. You may be talking about it, but the people I'm talking to are very pleased with what's happening right now. And anybody behind me right now that we're going to personalize this issue at this moment in time during an emergency, I think that is beyond the pale.
today, RIDOT also implementing a web page with the latest detours and updates. You can find that on our website, abc6.com. Live in Providence, I'm Alyssa Zara, ABC 6 News.